Hello, thank you for checking out Mr. Ware's videos. Today we're looking at linear regression, and what we want to do is make a linear equation from a table and use that table to solve problems. Let's take a look at the first one. It says a number of newly reported crime cases in the county of New York State is shown in the accompanying table, where X represents the number of years since 2004 and Y represents the number of new cases. Write the linear regression equation that represents the set of data, rounding all coefficients to the nearest hundredth. Using the equation, find the projected number of new cases for 2004, rounded to the nearest whole number. Okay, so since we're looking for the number of years, we are first going to make the equation, but we need to know what number to plug in to solve the answer. So we know that the number of new cases, what we want to look for is 2014, and we want to know what that new cases is. So we have an X, we're just trying to find a Y. Okay, now notice how they changed the numbers here. It says years since 2004, and they got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. They don't say 2004, 2005, 2006. So the question is, what number would be the year we're looking for, which is 2014? Okay, it's pretty simple to find that. We're going to take 2014 and subtract 2004 from it. So if we take 2014 and minus 2004, we're talking about 10 years. 10 years. Okay? All right. So we know, don't forget that number, 10 years. That's the X. We want to know what the output would be when we put in 10 years. All right. Now, the next thing, how do we find the equation? Well, we're going to use technology, and we're going to use this calculator here. Okay? So first, I'm going to go down here and click copy values for the calculator. So I'm going to hit copy, and then I'm open up the statistics calculator. It'll pop you up to another browser and send you here. All right, next thing we're going to do, or first we're going to go ahead and paste the values. So now our numbers are in here in the calculator. And we're going to change this calculator to calc menu. All right, next we're going to go to linear regression. And then we're going to hit calculate. So it gives us a y equals ax plus b. It gives us the coefficients here. It gives 42.2, which goes in front of x, and 947.6, which is our b here. Okay. Now, what we want to do is make the equation, and we're going to write out the equation, but we're going to plug in, we're going to go ahead and calculate it. Instead of having to actually calculate this, they give us a little thing here. We could just type in 10. Because remember, that was the number. How many years we needed was 10. So we put in 10 here, and then evaluate. Okay, and you get 1,369.6. So projected out, that's the amount of new cases, 1,369.6. And they said to round it to the nearest whole number. So what you're going to do is write the equation here and put the final answer here, and it'll look like this. So here's the equation right here, and here's the number of new cases. All right, and since we got to round to the nearest whole number, we'll go 1,370, and that's your answer. Okay, let's take a look at another one. All right, let's see. Same type of question, just different numbers here. So we got, instead of 2014, they're saying from 2000, or 2004, they're saying 2000, and they want to know the new cases in 2008. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy the values for the calculator. Uh-oh. Copy the value for the calculator. And we're going to open the statistics calculator here. And go paste the values. Make sure you paste the values. We're going to go to Calc menu. And going to linear regression. It's linreg. And hit calculate. All right, now I'm gonna go back because we didn't figure out what number we need to plug in. So I'm gonna go back here. So remember, it's from 2008. So it's from 2000 to 2008. You may be able to do that without actually calculating it, but it is 2008 minus 2000 is 8 years. So the number I'm gonna plug in is 8. So I'm gonna plug in the number 8 here. Hit evaluate, and this is our final answer. And I believe they want us around to the numbers whole number. Let's take a look. But here's the equation: y equals ax plus b, with a being 31.7 and b being 1011.2. And yep, to the nearest whole number. So we'll put in that equation here, put the final answer here, and it will look like this. So here's your equation. And the final answer, rounded to the nearest whole number, rounded up, is 1,265. All right, let's take a look at another one. Just happened to pick all the crime ones here, but there'll be different types, but the process is still the same. You got to pay attention to which one you got around and all of that. Okay, this one's a little different. Okay, so I'm gonna read it out. The number of newly reported crime cases in the county of New York State is shown in the accompanying table, where X represents the number of years since 2008 and Y represents the number of new cases. Same thing. Number of years, number of new cases. Write a linear regression that represents this set of data, rounding the coefficients to the nearest tenth. No problem. But this time it says, using this equation, estimate the calendar year in which the number of new cases would reach 1,146. So they give us the cases, but they want to know what year it's going to be. Okay, so we're going to go through the same process. We're going to go down here, we're going to hit copy values for the calculator, and I'm going to do open statistics calculator. We're going to hit paste values. We're going to go to Calc menu and go to linear regression. All right, hit that button. And don't forget, we're going to round these coefficients to the nearest tenth. Okay, I think I said tenth. I'll double check that. Matter of fact, let me double check it right now. Yep, to the nearest tenth. So here you'll round this one to 17.6, and this one is 987.1. Okay. All right. Now here, we don't have an X to plug in, because remember, they want to know the number of new cases. So this is what you're gonna do. you got to set up an equation. So I'm starting with this 17.6x plus 987.1. Remember, I rounded to the nearest tenth. And then for the y, I put in the number of new cases they want, 1,146. And now I'm just going to solve the equation. Okay, so I'll subtract 987.1 on both sides. Okay, 1146 minus 987.1 is 158.9, equal to the 17.6 that I bring down. And now divide by 17.6 on both sides. I get x is equal to 9.082, round that to 9 years. All right, so now if we go back to the original problem, okay, we got that same equation. All right, you plug it in and solve, and you get 9.028 equal to 9. And then after that, we got to find the year. So you're going to take that 9 and add it to the original year, which is 2008. Add those 9 years to it, and you get 2017. So 2017 is the year that the estimated year. Remember, this is all an estimate. You get 1,146 cases. Okay, now that is linear regression. I want to thank you for checking out Mr. Ware's videos. Have a nice day.